They thought the dead would stay silent until the seventh night came. For years, the people of Oron Village lived with a fear they could not explain. Every time a baby girl was born, the mothers would count the days with trembling hearts, because on the seventh night, the crying would stop, and by morning, the child would be dead. People whispered about a ghost that walked through the village when everyone slept. No one knew who she was, no one knew why she killed, but her footsteps moved through every compound like she owned the night. If only they knew where it all began. Oron was an old village, a place of strong tradition, tall palm trees, echoing drums, and a palace that stood like a giant watching over everyone. The villagers carried themselves with pride, but behind that pride was a secret that outsiders was never allowed to know. Before a new king could sit on the throne, a ritual older than any elder had to be performed. 7 virgins, not from Oron, not from any neighboring village, but from faraway lands, places so distant that no one would ever come looking for them. The palace guards would travel at night, slipping into unknown villages, listening for the singing voices of maidens. Once they found them, the girls would be seized. They would tie them and carry them away. Their cries mixed with the rusting leaves as they disappeared into the night. When they reached Oron, the virgins were taken to the palace grounds. The earth was dug open, and one by one they were lowered in alive and buried, covered in soil, silenced forever. They believed the earth would swallow their cries, but one cry refused to die. When it was time for King Baadu's coronation, the girls set out once again. This time, among the 7 maidens they captured, one girl stood out, a young virgin whose eyes carried a strength the guards could not understand. She fought, she screamed, she begged, and when they tied her hands, she cried out for her mother with a voice that pierced the night. Far away, her mother woke up, sensing something terrible had happened. She cried until her throat burned. She called her daughter's name again and again. When no answer came, she fell to the ground and cursed whoever had taken her child. Her cry was a cry that traveled. It did not stop at the edge of her village. It moved with the wind. It clung to the night. It followed her daughter all the way to Oron, where she was buried. During the ritual, when the maidens were being buried, the brave one kept shouting, but the soil rose quickly. Her tears were soaked in the ground. Her blood warmed the earth, and beneath the surface, something shifted. Something Oron had never seen before. The ground trembled the night she died. Something awakened beneath Oron not long after King Baadu took the throne. A woman in the village gave birth to a bouncing, beautiful baby girl. The celebration was loud and joyful, but joy in Oron did not last long. On the 7th night, the mother woke up to a strange silence. She called the baby's name, no answer. She touched the little body and screamed. The villagers gathered, confused. Some said it was an attack from the gods. Others thought it was a passing misfortune. But when the same thing happened again to another family, then another, fear gripped every home. Mothers began hiding their newborn girls inside baskets, under beds, even inside clay pots. Some families fled the village before the seventh day. Others ran to the shrine, begging for mercy. But nothing worked. Every female child died on the seventh night. Strange signs started resurfacing. People began hearing a soft, dragging sound at night, a slow cry that echoed through the compounds, a whisper that slid under doors and touched the ears of sleeping mothers. Return what you stole. Some villagers swore they saw footprints in ashes left from last night's cooking fire. Others claimed they saw a shape pass through the walls. There were nights when a baby would start crying softly, then suddenly go silent. By morning, the family would gather around a cold, lifeless body of their child. Fear took over everyone. Women feared getting pregnant. Birth rates dropped so drastically that it became a shameful topic in the village. No one wanted to bring a child into a world where death waited on the seventh night. Shortly after, the king started hearing things at night. A soft tapping on his window, a quiet voice calling his name, footsteps pacing outside his room. He would wake up sweating, clutching the edge of his bed, certain that someone or something was standing right in the shadows. One night, a brave hunter decided he would not let the ghost take his newborn niece. He stayed awake, hiding a lantern, watching the doorway closely. When the hour of the seventh night arrived, the wind shifted, the room grew cold. A shape moved at the corner. Before he could speak, a force slammed him against the wall and held him there. He struggled, gasping, unable to move. The ghost leaned close to his ear and whispered, "It is not the girl that I seek. I want vengeance and justice." Then she vanished. The baby remained untouched. The hunter's story spread through Oron like wildfire. People now knew the ghost wanted something else, something deeper, something the village had taken. One evening, a stranger arrived at the village gate, a traveling evangelist who claimed he had been shown Oron in a night dream. He looked around the village and immediately sensed something was wrong. Something buried. Something is crying out. He gathered the elders and said, "A buried voice is crying out for justice against the people of Oron." The words shook the room. The elders avoided each other's eyes. Some knew what he meant. Others pretended not to understand. The evangelist asked the village to join him in prayer and fasting. Day after day, night after night, the village gathered as he prayed, calling upon a power greater than any shrine. But on the third night, while the evangelist was praying alone, the air shifted, the lamps flickered, a coldness swept through the compound, and she appeared. The ghost stood before him, watching him with those burning eyes. The evangelist did not run. He asked her why she tormented the village. Her voice rose, shaking with anger and grief. She was stolen. She was innocent. She was buried alive. Her mother cursed the land before she died of heartbreak. When she finished, the ghost cried, not loud, just soft, painful sobs that made even the evangelist's heart to ache. The next morning, the evangelist walked straight to the palace, he confronted King Baadu in front of the elders. He demanded the truth. Under pressure, under fear, King Baadu confessed everything. Every dark ritual, every innocent girl, every burial beneath the palace, the entire village trembled. Some wept, some shouted. The evangelist ordered the entire village to go into deep prayer for mercy unto God. And on the final day of the prayers, the whole village gathered at the place where the virgins were buried. The evangelist finally prayed, asking God to have mercy on the people of Oron, and by the power of God, he commanded the ghosts to return to the dead and never to torment the village again. A strange peace settled over Oron. The air felt lighter, the fear lifted, and from that day, newborn girls lived beyond their seventh night. The curse was gone, and so Oron Village learned a lesson they would never forget. No kingdom stands on innocent blood. What is buried in darkness will one day demand the light. And a cry for justice, no matter how deep, will never remain unheard. What do you think Oron Village should have done differently? Tell me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing African stories that leaves you entertained. Thank you. We love you. See you in our next video.